Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is a really exciting one for myself. Um I have finally gotten my hands on a copy of Dungeons and Dragons, the 3 volume set, and I had actually purchased this on eBay prior to going on vacation last week, so I had awesome conversations with the seller and arranged it where it would not show up until actually today, my first full day home from vacation. So ran to the post office and there it was, very well packed away in a extremely large box with plenty of padding, and just really excited about having gotten this. So without further ado, let's go to the big screen so I can show you what we're looking at. So here's the box itself, and obviously, 1974. It's going to be showing some signs of a little bit of wear and tear. So there is some denting and some discoloration, and the one panel here is a little bit loose, but I knew that going into it, and I'm perfectly happy with it. I will probably inquire of others, what's the best way to secure something like this. I may just go with some type of a tape on the inside of it and just, seal it up. I have no intentions of ever selling this. This will sit on my shelf until the day that I die, and it will go to my children, and hopefully they have an understanding and appreciation for what the set actually, means. So there's the top box. The bottom box is in slightly better condition. Um, no breaks in it at all. Pretty solid. So I am happy with that. But the books themselves are in nearly pristine condition. So here is Men and Magic Volume 1. And this particular volume, because I double checked this, so this is copyright 1974. And they give no indications of whether it's, what printing it happens to be. But I do not see any indication that it is anything but, possibly the first or second printing. I believe it's the first because it doesn't mention any additional printings on this one here. Its original cost was, I believe, let's see, not quite sure. But anyway, so there is Men and Magic, and very, very solid. Just some slight yellowing on the edges of the paper here. I'm not sure that you can actually see that, but it's binding. Its staples are clean, and it's pretty, very, very good condition. I was going to say pristine. That one is very close to pristine. Volume 2, Monsters and Treasures. And once again, in excellent condition. Staple is clean. This one as well. Copyright 1974. No other indications as to being anything but the original printing, of this collector's box set. So then we have volume 3. So this is the Underworld and Wilderness Adventures. Now this one here, you can see there was a label put on here, but very well removed. There's no residue of it, just the discoloration from where there might have been might have been something put there. And this here also copyright 1974, no indication of print run. So I'm going to assume that it's probably first printing as well. But otherwise, very solid copy. Staples nice and clean. Book in really great condition. And then it came with the reference sheets. Now the reference sheets here, let's see if we have a date on these. I don't believe so. I have glanced through it a little bit, just to see if I noticed anything. Let's see if on the very back. Nope. So no indication that there's anything, that it's not part of the original set. So I'm very happy with that as well. So I have now the first three Dungeons and Dragons booklets in their form that came as part of the original collector's set and all dated 1974. So I'm super happy with that. Now I have been getting the supplements. I already had purchased supplement number 2, which was the Blackmore campaign. So I have that. That is going to go in this box set, and I have supplements 1 and 3 on their way. So I will do a separate video with all 3 of those supplements once I have them. And I'm in the process of also picking up the additional booklets. So in all, I will eventually have all 9 of the booklets for the original Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm really, really happy with that. Now, fortunately, and I'm going to seal this up, and this will be someplace on my bookshelf behind me, prominently placed, so that it's very clear what it actually is. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to put it this way or out like this. But once I have them all, that's when I'm going to put it on the shelf one way or the other. Not sure how I'm going to orient it. Now, I am really happy that at the time I was able to pick this up. And so this I found online before it disappeared. And so this is the single volume edition of those three booklets. So I will never have to physically use these books if I do want to run a game session using the original Dungeons and Dragons set. So as you can see here, 1974. I'm not quite sure when this was consolidated into just one version. Maybe there's an introduction, and I can go larger here and see when they combined these up. I'm not even quite sure who combined them up. Someone might have just gone in and physically recreated all 82 pages worth of the book and or books and just released them. But if you can get your hands on this here after you've gotten the originals, I would certainly recommend utilizing a PDF. Much, much safer to do. But as you can see, each section, very brief. Not a whole lot of rules to this game system when it first came out. Go through all of these. Most of these are going to be spells and their descriptions. Adventuring rules. So time and movement. Time and movement in the wilderness. Expert hirelings, hiring specialists and mercenaries. Encounters in combat. So a monster reaction table. Morale. Dungeon encounters. Wilderness encounters. Party size. Monsters encountered 25%. Chance of evading 50%. So this is your chance of avoiding them. Rules for pursuit. The combat sequence. Determine surprise. Roll initiative. Winning side acts first. Movements can be made. Missile attacks, spell cast if applicable. Melee attacks occur. Damaged rolls. Losing follows step 4 through 6, and then the round ends. Next round begins at step 2. So you no longer determine surprise, obviously. Distance, impact on surprise. Very limited number of weapons. Combat reference tables. So dwarves, fighting man, and hobbits all have one category. Clerics have their own. Magic users their own. They have to hit armor classes 2, 3, 4, 5 through 9. Saving throws. Swimming, then monsters and naval adventures. Here's a monsters section. We will get through all of this here, and let's see what else we have. So we have monsters, we have treasures. I'd be curious to run a campaign with just this limited number of treasure and magic items that they have. Reference information, so dungeon design. And this looks like a recreation of the reference booklet that came with the box set. So it's nice that it's here. A section on thieves. Remember, thieves back then only had 4 hit die. Demi-human thieves, so their impact for dwarves, elves, and hobbits. Once again, back in the early 70s, they were at least able to use Hobbit for the first edition, and then they were most likely given a cease and desist, and they had to change it to halflings. Using chainmail in combat. So they're talking about using the chainmail rules, all right, for mass combat. Some errata, and that's it. So once again, it's it's a real boost to my collection in order to have, finally a white box in my possession. I, I consider it to be, finally I can consider myself a collector, in this, and just really, really happy that I've received this. See, the lighting has already changed vastly. Must be a storm coming in, so I'll fix up the lighting a little bit later. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will go through, once I get the next set, I will start going through some of these books in greater detail. And, this is just a box opening video. So when I go through in greater detail, I will cover some of the rules that I think really stand out, using this edition of Dungeons and Dragons compared to later editions, and and of course just focus on the positives, the things that I see that really stand out here, that I see no reason not to use those those particular rules, even today, and introduce new players to this edition of Dungeons and Dragons, is something that I really like to do. Is I really like to bring new players that might have only played, third edition or fourth edition or fifth edition, and now, bringing them to, the origins of the game itself is something that I enjoy doing as a dungeon master, and I really encourage you to do the same thing. If you're an old school DM out there, try to bring your players, especially the younger players, to the older game systems themselves. I'm not just talking about the older game style, but bring them back to the older game systems using the older game style as well, to just give them a sense of what it was like to play Dungeons and Dragons back in its earliest years. So, once again, thanks for joining. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you have. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. If you hadn't subscribed, please consider subscribing. My channel just hit 1,500 a couple days ago, which was my August goal. So I'm kind of ahead of the game, and hopefully I can hit 1,800 subscribers by January. That's my goal. So the anniversary date of my channel is December 30th. So if I can hit 1,800 by December 30th, I'll be really happy with that as well. There'll be another, personal milestone that I'm looking to do for the channel. And then I'll worry about 2,000 plus in 2022. So once again, thanks for joining. I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. I have a lot of things going on over the next couple of days, and then making plans for convention season next year. So almost, a full year ahead of time. Start making my plans for conventions for 2022 convention season. So once again, thanks for joining. Have a great day and take care.